Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and today we're talking about armor, specifically combat armor. Now, recently, of course, we saw that the legacy sets are coming back. Here, of course, are some of the legacy marine armors, and we saw a lot of different kind of coloring options. I think even at the very end of the line that we almost saw kind of like a gold-plated chrome almost looking armor, which was kind of hilarious. But at the same time, you know, we found out that the pirate heavy armor is coming back, and I think one of the funny things about seeing these armors come back is the fact that it really kind of highlights the difference between kind of making decisions based on aesthetics versus making decisions based on practicality. Pirate armors aren't all that smooth. They're broken up. They don't have all these regular shapes. They're in fact a lot more practical than the marine, flashy, high quality manufactured sets. And honestly, they're just flat out better armor. Now, some people might look at the pirate sets of armor and say, oh, they're so bland, they're just flat blacks and flat grays, and they all just look like just pieces of junk put together. But when you look at it versus the sets of armor that we've been shown for the Marines, especially with the coloring options, I mean, sure, you may want to say, oh, I'm going to get a blue space bike, and I'm going to get this blue armor, and I'm going to wear that into combat. It's going to look really cool. But think about it. What sticks out most to the human eye? What's more likely to draw gunfire? The armor set that is more likely to blend in, or a fun little purple number that you can wear on the battlefield? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm perfectly fine with these things existing in the universe. I have no problem with it whatsoever. It's just I would go for something that doesn't stand out, or something that's more likely to blend in, especially in low light conditions, like in the bowels of a space station or a wrecked starship or on the dark side of some moon, something that's more likely to allow me to blend in. I'm not really the one who's going to go looking for a fun little magenta number to frolic on the battlefield with. In a weird kind of way, because of that perceived disadvantage that pirates would have, that they would kind of have to cobble things together and make these ad hoc sets of armor versus the finely manufactured sets of armor from the UEE. In a weird way, that gives pirates an advantage because it allows the armor to blend in. It doesn't give the armor a regular manufactured, shiny, colorful appearance. It's just whatever is handy, so it's more likely to blend in than the actual Marine sets of armor. The truth is that the set of armor that maybe catches someone's eye and makes someone go like, ooh, that's a cool looking set of armor, dude, has very little practical value. I mean, you really don't want the set of armor that catches someone's eye, because generally half a second after it catches their eye, it catches a bullet. Oh, a while ago on the Star Citizen forums, there was a really funny thread where someone was expressing dismay at the fact that Star Citizen used so many drab and dark colors, and they wanted it to be more brightly lit and I guess more fun looking. Some of you may know the thread that I'm talking about and may know exactly what that person was trying to say in that thread, though hilariously misinformed that it was. We're not going to turn over that stone because that's a whole other discussion, but the truth is that is one of the features about Star Citizen that I like the most, because it's an eye on practicality, and especially when you look at the pirate armor sets, because of their cobbled together nature, they're actually the best armor sets in the game. Not because they look cool, but because they have that eye on practicality, because they have those dry, drab, flat colors. They blend in better, especially in dark conditions, which you will find quite a lot of in the Star Citizen universe. But there are also other coloration options. I mean, if you go down to Levski and you're unfortunate enough to be trapped on Levski for a number of days, You might see the pirate sets with the desert color options, which are kind of cool. And I mean, you could see the value for them if you're running around in the day on day mode. Or probably not running around, but if you're standing still and hoping not to get noticed so you can get that first shot in, you could see the practical value of owning an armor set like that and just having it nearby in case you ended up in a situation where you may need it. Whereas if you're on Yela, if you have a more of a gray and a blue, flat gray and blue set, that might have some value in that environment as well. But because the pirate armors use these flat matte colors, and because they don't have all these silly lights all over them to give away someone's position, they blend in a heck of a lot better, and so they're practically speaking better, even though their stats might be entirely identical to the non-pirate sets, the UEE military sets or whatever. They could have the same weight, the same armor value, the same mobility restrictions, everything, you know, perfect, the same, right down the board. The pirate sets are better. Let me give you an example. Let's look at the marine armor sets, okay? Now, I've cracked a few jokes about these before. Now, generally, they do have a lot of flat colors, but they do have all these lights all over them to light them up, make them look techy, and they have these lights inside the helmets where they have that clear glass plane or whatever, transparent aluminum, whatever it's supposed to be, illuminating the person's face. Why do they have that? Well, that's a common trope from sci-fi films. You see, like Alien, The Abyss, things like that, whenever the actors go out into deep space or bottom of the ocean, they put on these helmets. You have to see the actor's face while they're acting, so they shine lights on the actor's face. And so that's why that's there. It's not there for practical reasons. In fact, it's quite the opposite. That would be detrimental to a person actually doing these things in real life. It would mess with your night vision, or at least your ability to perceive light in low light conditions. Plus, you would have to deal with the glare on the inside of the helmet. And while some people might think, oh, well, that looks more real, the truth is that would be an impediment that could cost you your life. Now, if you look at something like an actual deep sea helmet today, yeah, it's not made out of all these futuristic, materials. You can't have just the glass bubble or the glass dome. I mean, it's got to survive those pressures, and we're constrained by the materials that we have today. But there's no interior lighting within these helmets because there's no need for it. All the light comes from outside the helmet. Any light within the helmet is just going to impede your vision. In fact, we can jokingly say that probably one of the things that contributed to John Hurt's death in Alien was the shitty helmet design with all these lights shining in his face, which forced him to stick his face closer to the egg sac to see what was actually going on in there. Now you might say, well, what the hell does this have to do with Star Citizen? But think about it. If you're out there and you're playing in the PU right now and you're at a crash site or whatever, and someone's running around in a marine set of armor, you spot them so much faster than you spot someone in a pirate set of armor. Why? Because they have a bright light shining on their face saying, hey everybody, here's my cranium. Don't shoot at it now. Now, don't take this the wrong way and think that I disapprove of people having the ability to choose to wear what they want in Star Citizen. Absolutely not. If you want to wear whatever you want to wear, or color your character however you want to color them, wear whatever suit of armor you think looks coolest on you, or maybe color coordinate your entire crew, whatever, cool. Have at it. Have a great time. All I'm saying is that if you're going to roll into a gunfight or a place where a gunfight is likely, it's probably best to wear that drab set of pirate armor. Because that super fun, sparkly, colorful set that you picked up on ArcCorp might look cool to you, but it'll probably also get your ass shot off. Anyways, that's the show for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. So if you want to keep up with the latest and greatest in Star Citizen and Squadron 42's development, please follow us on our social media channels. See you soon.